Okay, so they go and then the girl is like, the Jennifer's like, oh my god, we're in 20, I can't handle this. And then Doc uses some ray and japs her in the face and puts her out. And he's like, this was some knockout juice. She's fine. So they immediately knock her out. And I'm just like, why did they?
I don't like
in the first place? But yeah, so basically she gets literally knocked out the entire movie. So just forget about her. So anyway, they land, and then they literally just like dump her in the side of the street. They just dump her on the side of the street, and they're like, okay, well I guess we'll just leave her here. And so they do that. And your son is a wimp. He won't stand up for himself. And it's just crazy. And Marty's like, but he doesn't actually tell Marty that, but like that's what happens. But Marty's like, okay, I'll stop him from going to prison because I don't want my son to be in prison, obviously. So Marty goes and he's
hold
like,
on,
okay,
one second,
Marty, here's the deal. I'm going to intercept your son and do my interception mission, and that's Doc Brown talking. Doc Brown does this. And Marty, you're going to go into this cafe and you're going to wait, and all you're going to do is you're going to say no. That's all you're going to do. You're going to say no to Biff. Biff's going to ask you to do something, and you're going to say, Biff, I'm not going to do it. And that's all you're going to do. Okay. Marty, where are you, McFly? He's like, where are you, McFly? And then Marty turns around and he's like, me? But it wasn't actually him he was referring to. He's referring to the son in the future. And he's like, oh, you're not McFly, but you sure do look at him. You do look like him a lot. And he's like, yeah, I do, right? And then Marty sees that his son, Marty sees his future son walking into the bar, and he jumps behind the bar still because he doesn't want to get seen because it could cause like some time paradox. So anyway, Marty comes in and then Biff like starts beating on him, starts fucking shitting his fucking bitch up, and then throws him behind the counter. And then Marty does being the smart man that he is, does the quick, double flop. He switches with his son. He's like punches out his son. He knocks out his son. His son's sleeping behind the counter, and then in his place, he jumps out because he looks identical to him. So he jumps out in his place, and he's like, haha, Biff, I'm not actually the Marty you think you are, so I'm gonna stand up to you. And he stands up to him, so he punches him or something. He's like, look behind you. Biff turns around because he's an idiot. He punches him in the face. It's super epic. And then they run out because Biff's like, oh god, I gotta catch him. So they run out, and then he meets this kid. This kid is using like some training wheel bike, but guess what? It's not a training wheel bike at all. He rips off the handle, and it's the hoverboard, dude. It's a hoverboard. It's like some crazy ass, and he's a crazy skater, so like he's good at it. So he puts the hoverboard on. He's like zipping around. Biff's trying to chase him. Biff cannot catch him. Biff is not good enough. But then Marty makes a big mistake. Marty goes over the water. Yes, and that's right. And Biff's like, haha, my arm.
Oh, oh, no, I didn't mean to. Oh, no.
God damn it.
I accidentally killed him. I'm sorry. Oh. No, please.
One set a hit on him real fast. So we do this.
Oh, please, no one said a hit on me.
Legally do it.
Wait, where was that? Oh yeah, Marty.
I'm sorry.
So Biff is like,
sorry.
It's okay. Biff is like, okay, Marty, you dummy, you can't. Hoverboards don't work on water unless they're powered. So then Biff takes out his powered like machine, and he's like, hook on, dudes, and his dudes hook on to this powered machine, and they go over the water, and Marty's like sitting there trying to kick the water. He's like, I can't move, I'm stuck in the middle of the water, and Biff's like gaining on him, and Biff's right behind him, right, and then Marty does this sick move where he jumps in the air and flips right over Biff. Fix the time dilemma that I was trying to fix. Go back, Doc Brown, get in the car, everything's perfect. They go back in time, they deliver Jennifer to her porch, they just like straight up slap her on her porch, and that's that. They go back home. But yeah, just as that guy was saying, uh-oh, what happened? Things are crazy, everything's crazy, the town is not what it looks like, Hill Valley is not the perfect little wonderful place it used to be. There's crazy biker gangs everywhere, there's crazy, gangs everywhere. Marty McFly breaks into his house, but it's not actually his house. These black people live there, and they start harassing him. They're like, holy crap, dude, what the fuck? Why are you in my... Well, that's what they are. I'm trying to be faithful to the movie. So they go into the movie, and they're just like, get out of my house, fool, and they fucking... And Marty's like, I think I made a mistake. He's like, yeah, you're goddamn right you made a mistake, motherfucker. And he's like, oh, shit. So then he runs out. Marty runs out, and he's trying to find Doc. He's like, oh, God, I think I made a mistake. But then, guess what? He gets in the middle of town square where the clock tower was, and it's Biff's gigantic Trump tower. And he enters, and he's like, holy shit, how did this happen? And he sees on this TV, it goes, Biff, the national millionaire. How did he make his first millions? Well, he went to a racetrack on this exact date. And guess what the date was? It was 1985. Holy shit, it was the exact date. What are the odds, right? But anyway, that happened, and then he becomes a millionaire because he's super crazy betting odds. And then Marty's like, oh my god, Biff, how did he get that book? The book that I was gonna do, he stole my idea. Now he's taking the almanac that has all the betting odds for for all the freaking sports things in the future, and he's using them, and he's getting millions. And I was gonna do that, but he goes in the house, and he's so astounded by this news. He's so like shocked, and it's traumatizing to him that he turns around and boom, he gets punched in the face by Biff's guards, and he wakes up right next to his mother, but his mother has these gigantic knockers because Biff stole his mother. Biff killed his dad and stole his mother and gave her these giant knockers because Biff loved the mother, but the mother in the beginning, because in Back to the Future 1, Marty McFly goes back and does this thing where he gets his dad to like him. So anyway, in the second one, the mother gets stolen by Biff, and he's like, "Holy crap, Biff is ruining my entire family's life." And what is this? So he goes and he's like, oh, he meets Doc Brown. He's like, "Doc, can you believe this?" And Doc's like, "Look at the news. I'm a criminal. I'm seen as a criminal in the news, kid. This is crazy." And it's insane. And Doc and Marty know they're in a pickle and they don't know what to do exactly. So they think about it. The almanac. Okay, how are we gonna figure out the exact time? Well, Marty he just asks Biff. He's like, "I'm just gonna ask Biff about it." So he goes up to Biff and he's like, "Biff, how about this almanac? Where'd you get it?" Right? And he tells him. He just tells him. But then at the end he's like, haha. But this guy came up, and in the past he came and he gave me this book. But he told me if anyone asks, if a doc or a little kid asks, then I better kill them. And I didn't think it'd be you, but it's you. And guess what? Marty is such a genius. He does the same thing they did to Biff in the previous world. He goes, "Look behind you," and then Biff, being the idiot he is, turns around and he fucking, pew, Marty slams him in the face with like something, like he throws. Yeah, I know, such a stupid idiot. He throws this ashtray that has spikes on it, but Biff like geniusly dodges it somehow. I don't know, his reflexes must be good. But like, and then he starts shooting, but he's like terrible aiming. He shoots all the shots. He has a six count revolver. I was counting the whole time. 1 bam miss, 1 2. You know, that's 2 bam miss, 3 bam miss, 4 bam, 5 bam, 6 miss, 6 miss. You know, and then he's aiming it right at him. I'm like, oh, I already counted. I know he's got no ammo, right? You know that. You were counting with me, right? And then boom, sure enough, no ammo in that gun. So Marty gets out of there. Fucking, it was crazy, dude. Marty gets out of there and he finds out the exact date. They go to Doc. They figured out the date. Bam, teleport into the future or whatever. Not teleport, back to the future, whatever. Back to the past. I don't know. They go back to the exact, but they can't go. They were like, why can't we just go to the future and steal? Well, if you go in the future, then it'll be in the future where it's with Biff, so it won't actually be the real future, you know. So they go way back, right back to the time, 1955. Boom, and they're there. And then Marty has to do the job of getting the book from Biff. And let me tell you right now, Marty is the worst motherfucker at stealing things from people because he fails multiple times. He has 16 million ample opportunities to steal that almanac. He doesn't. He just doesn't. I'll give you the first example. First example, he just jumps into the car. He finds out where Biff's car is because it just got manured on and he's fixing it. He jumps into the car right in the back. He could just, boom, he could straight up just steal that almanac, but he doesn't. So he just lets Biff does his little monologue. So they get to the garage, boom, could steal there, doesn't, lets the monologue happen, boom, Biff's gone, right? Boom, old Biff's gone, new Biff's here with the but doesn't even believe the almanac's real. Driving in the car, definitely, it's like literally right next to him on the seat. Doesn't steal it at all. And then finally there's this crazy scene where he gets in the hoverboard. He's like chasing him in the car. He's like, "Oh shit, but find me, I'm in the hoverboard." He's like sliding on the side of the tunnels. He's like doing some crazy tricks. And then the almanac somehow during this midst of all this craziness gets onto the windshield of Biff's car. So Marty does this crazy sick flip. It does like a 360 up over the car, grabs the almanac midair, boom, he did it finally, right? Finally. Oh my god, after all this bullshit, he finally got it. Like an hour of trying to get something that he could have easily grabbed, got it, right?
Can I read that?
Oh my god. It's not the right, it's the cover, right? It's not the real one. And then goes to the principal office, all this, could steal it, gets this stealth session where he could steal. Basically, Marty can't steal it. But, finally, Marty does steal it. Marty gets it. Marty has to stop these people from stopping his past self, from stopping his future self, so that he can get to the past. Marty does it successfully.
Hey.
Marty's epic. They get to the past. Everything's wonderful. They teleport. There's like no hitches after this. They get the almanac. They go back. Perfect.
Oh, wow.
You fucking kidding me?
I was so ready.
What's up, bro?
They're there, but guess what? Doc Brown gets in the car. Doc Brown gets in the car during a lightning storm on his way out, and then boom, unfortunately a lightning strike hits him, and Marty is now stranded in the past.
Hey.
Hello.
I have to kill you, sadly.
Please kill me.
And then it says to be
Anyway.
continued.
I don't have a gun.
Wow.
You want part 3?
Go
Can
for
I
it.
have a gun?
Can you
Alright, part 3.
Can you kill me?
So Marty's stranded in the past. No! How come this happened? I need to get back, and we just fixed all this shit, and I was doing all this more shit, and it's just so much shit, and I'm finally getting home, and then boom, Doc just teleports midair.
you
Oh
want me to
god, what am
kill
I
you?
gonna do? So luckily, right then and there, a letter comes. This random last messenger comes, and he's like, "Hello, this is from the Doc in the past. I have teleported during that storm that you might have just witnessed due to my calculations of geniusness, and I have had this letter delivered to this exact coordinates because I had figured that you would be here at this exact time and know because you would have just witnessed me
No,
teleporting
no.
in the past. And I just want you to to know that I am safe and I am wonderful and it is 1855 and I love it and it is perfect and I was wanting this forever and don't come for me whatever you do, please. And then Marty's like, okay, I guess I won't come for him. But then Marty looks him up in the book and sees that he ends up going to the grave and seeing that he dies. And he's like, what? He dies, and he dies like 3 days after that letter was sent. So he's like, I gotta go back. I gotta save him. I can't just let this happen. And he goes and he tells the doc, and then because he also needs to get home in the first place, but he's like also at the same time of getting home, he's like, I can't also let the doc die, you know. So he goes to the doc in the present, who's also there at the same time, who just witnessed the Marty that he was trying to get home, and then at the same time, Marty just comes. He's like, I just sent you home, and then he's like, no, that's not possible. You're not. You can't be. And he's like, I am here. And then the doc passes out. So they bring him home, and then the movie begins.
You're
wonderful.
breaking NLR. Can you
he's
not be
upstairs
here?
in the casino.
And then he woke
You
up,
died
and
here.
so. Yeah, but the guy who
Oh.
killed me said he was sorry.
That doesn't matter. It's NLR. You don't even know who he is.
Then why don't you
know
kill
how he
me?
died.
Why don't you kill me?
No,
Also, I don't
help.
think NLR applies to RDM. I don't think NLR applies to RDM.
The hitman, you dumbass. How is that RDM?
Oh, well, that's funny. Anyway, so they go back to the future,
Go
and
back.
it's just like, I need to go back, and then they go back to the past, and then he just was, I gotta go save Doc in the same time. So, boom, in the interception, they go back, and he's like, and Doc, but the machine breaks because there was Indians, and they shot it, and they shot the fuel exhaust, and then all the gasoline was dripping out everywhere, so now there's no gasoline, and he goes to the Doc, and he's like, hey, but you can make gasoline. He's like, no, there's not gonna be gasoline for ages, we can't make
That's
gasoline.
down, but
So,
Summer
there's no
cookie die.
gasoline, the car can't move.
Summer cookie
How are we
die.
gonna get it up to 88 miles per hour? Because now I told you that you're gonna die. How are we gonna get you up to 88?
Wow.
Gun. He had an illegal gun. He had an AK-47 without a freaking.
What a buzzkill.
Hey, vote for me, boys. Vote for me, boys. I'll become one of you. One of us. One of us. One